Even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Tackled by Jordan Willis. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
To the right side, this is Walker. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, they certainly took a shot to open this game. I know it backfired with the interception, but no lack of bravado from that sideline at all. And look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Here's Walker to start the drive. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now here's Mahomes. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's intercepted. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. That's good for Las Vegas. Once again, it's Jacobs. And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Raiders at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run. A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Go ahead.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's able to motor his way down to his 16-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Jet sweep. Garoppolo taps it forward. A nice play design there with a touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. We're scoreless after 1.
Here we go.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Garoppolo looks to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here we go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A good pick up there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw there into the hands of Ross. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pick up of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
Counter play with Jacobs. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? That's complete to Dobbs. Touchdown, Raiders. Romeo Dobbs, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This will be fielded at the 17. So call that a 56-yard punt with a return of about 11. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Run some guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Here we go. On play action, now Garoppolo. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 43. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Jacobs going to try the middle. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. From the 30 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. A nice gain of 21 yards.
The partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Good for Las Vegas. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Here's Jacobs, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. But Charles, for them, a pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 128 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. A solid stiff arm. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Here's Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Does it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Carlson able to put this one through, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 5 now. Mahomes throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Looking deep downfield. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Walker now at 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Robert Spillane, the linebacker, there on the tackle. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. Not losing with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Mahomes going to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Walker is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line collected victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close one. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Second down and 3. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On the very outer edge of field goal range, it would be 56 yards if they got nothing here on 3rd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
This old adage, partner, don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes the mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice gain.
On the counter, it's Walker. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Again, Walker. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run, Walker. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective take a break. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. Butker's kick here is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And, Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to... He's got him in! Complete! And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
It's a gain of 32 yards. And the Raider first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
Back to throw, Garoppolo. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And this is caught inside the 5. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down to get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throw out wide to Walker. Room here to run. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. A huge play there in overtime. And even 40 yards. Well, we know they like to get him the ball in space there. An underneath route. Get it to him. Let him make some people miss. Turned out to be a big play in overtime.
Did it ever. And let's face it, it's a league of matchups. That's what you want. Get a running back into space, as you talked about. Put the ball on him and let him do the work afterwards. And that time, it worked really well.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, it's Walker. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move him out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss.
5-yard pickup. It's now 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Butker's kick here is good, and they have regained the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. William Jackson with a pick. Gigantic play by this defense, Charles. So they came back in the 4th quarter, took the momentum into overtime, and now they take the football.
And how do you think the team that just threw the pick feels right now? They surrendered the lead, got to overtime, had a chance to redeem themselves, and now they put the game in jeopardy with another pick. And guess what? Their defense has to hold.